Of course, Terran has some aggressive options as well, but yeah, I would like to see a cheese taste. So I'm on Team Tasteless now.
All right.
Let's see it.
Welcome to Team Tasteless.
Yeah.
It's good to have you on board.
Thanks.
Now, I don't know, man. It's going to be the kind of the craziest comeback we could have in the KSL if Horang2 does it.
It would be.
But hey, man, you got to take it one game at a time, right? And I believe our game is now loaded up. Let's do this. Game 3, Horang2 versus Last.
Top left, Horang2. Oh wait, that's bottom left. Top
Your
left,
other left,
Last.
Artosis.
Top left, Last. Okie dokes.
All right, guys. Good luck, Horang2.
Yeah.
Viewers, give Horang2 your energy. I feel for this guy. He's gotten so deep here. Ooh, that's a drawing of the stage.
Oh my gosh.
It's uncanny.
Oh,
I thought it was just a shot of, the
Oh, hold on.
oh, I just noticed that.
Tiger.
Yeah, Horang2 means tiger in Korean. So you guys are probably on it. It says Horang. Actually, the 2 is like
Horang2.
E. It says Horang2. Say his name. It's the second one. It's like, no, guys. The 2 in Korean is the E sound. So
He learned everything he knows from Horang1.
It's like that's the thing, Artosis. It's got to be like the Terminator movies. The second one is going to be the best.
Yeah. It's very true.
Okay, so we have a pylon inside the main. There's still a chance for some crazy cheesery. Problem is, can Horang2 hold his own against, a Terran player that is just so solid? I mean, when you think of Last, you've got to think of solid play. He can kind of do everything. The more bases he has, the more factories he can make, the better he's going to look. He's completely fine. Some players, they're much stronger in the early game because they have less to juggle. Mm-hmm. So the longer the game goes on, where he has to take more bases, that's kind of where the player falters. I feel like that's a little bit of what's happening to Horang2 here. He has a lot of theory down. His execution is not as clean, though.
Yeah, something like that. Like he's not quite as refined. Now this was, I believe, it was 11 racks, 11 gas. There's some very aggressive plays that you can do on this map. Like 10-10-10 is very popular. I don't think it was that, but I actually wasn't watching as closely as I should have been for that.
Oh wow, he's doing the super fast expand, gasless expand.
Oh boy.
So with this, you have one zealot you can bring out.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a pretty good build here from Horang2. This was.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Like it's hard to kill this with the Marine Rush, I think.
Yeah, I feel like you'd almost want them to Marine Rush you.
Oh, he's still mining gas. So Last looks like he's going to get aggressive here. That SCV snuck around a little. The second gate actually, is that the second? Oh wait,
no, it's the first gate. It's got a core. He might get a second gate though when he sees this.
Yeah.
I believe this is all mathed out, so the Nexus finishes and that operates as like an additional pylon.
Yeah. I bet you're right about that because he's at 17 to 17. Otherwise, he's very
supply blocked. He's like, this is not looking good, everybody. So he comes down here. Now, do you make a Vulture first if you're looking at this? I mean, let's just think out loud here because I'm not that familiar with this Protoss build.
So it matters what you actually want to accomplish. If you're going to rush them, yeah. Okay, so he does make it. I mean, the Dragoon's going to be out, though, right? And he's going to have 2 Zealots and a Dragoon? Wait.
2 Zealots, there'll be 1 Dragoon.
Does he think he's not top left? He saw it, didn't he? His Zealot's going so far away.
No, he had to have seen that.
He has a Zealot going to the bottom right.
Oh, my God, he didn't see it.
Oh, my God.
Oh, this is just...
Well, now he doesn't have one of his Zealots. He's going to lose a lot of stuff, right? Like, there's SCVs coming. There's a Vulture. There's a bunch of Marines.
Every unit is so important here. Oh, my God. Okay, so Horang2 is having the worst day of his StarCraft career.
This is tough, man.
Last doesn't micro at all, maybe. Oh, my God. Now
oh, no. Run away. Oh.
Well, I'm actually just kind of looking weird because I thought the Terran was going to stay and fight, and I thought
he was
Protoss was going to run away, and then I'm like, I don't understand anything, apparently. Okay.
Well, he comes back as soon as the next Vulture comes, so I guess that
Problem is that Dragoons don't fire that fast, and these SCVs, they actually have a lot of HP.
Yeah.
So, even though it's like the Dragoon's a natural enemy of the Vulture, ultimately you end up just rolling over them.
Okay. I'm always surprised when a Protoss really fights this. Maybe he can still break it, though. Maybe he can save this Nexus, but he's lost a lot of probes so far, so it makes me definitely a bit nervous. Oh my god, look at these SCVs just battle. Oh, he's going to get that Marine, and he might be able to stop more Marines as well, which means that bunker won't do anything. Hey!
Okay, that was one of the weirdest openings, because so many things are going wrong on both sides.
Yeah, and those are always really tough calls, too, because sometimes when I see like 8 SCVs pulled, I think about it, I'm like, well, if you just pull back and like go for a Reaver, his economy's not so good at home either, right? But
yeah, it seemed a little bit weird, right?
But he holds and he keeps the Nexus, so that's like even better.
Yeah, well, that's. I mean, I think this is a better position right now for Horang2.
Yeah.
Because he's already got the 2 gateways up. He can keep making Dragoons. I mean, it is a Terran on 1 factory. I don't believe there's even been a command center made, right? There's nothing like that back at all.
You cannot afford a command center, right? He was out on the map with like 8 SCVs.
I actually think he can just. Well, he's not quite targeting right, but
yeah, a little bit weird on the targeting. Oh boy, things are going wrong, Horang2.
Yeah, this is.
Just run, just turn around and run. Okay, he lost 2 goons to kill like 4 Marines. So that was a bit of a mistake.
I was about to say he could keep making Dragoons and actually just try to get on top of the ramp and drive him away, but basically Last has to go all in from here. And frankly, that was actually very fortunate for Last that those Dragoons were killed off in that fashion and the tank count stayed consistent.
Yeah. What is so he just pushes with tank Marine now?
Yeah, he gets mines and several vultures and I guess vulture speed if he has time. And what happens is that I mean there's no robo out, right? So
that's true.
When you get the mine set up, then what are you supposed to do? I mean, you basically have like lost. You can't get control of that Nexus again.
Yeah, that's true.
And
look at the path he's taken. Oh my gosh. So many things going wrong here for him.
Yeah.
Okay, he sees it and runs back. Only takes a couple extra shots on that goon. Oh god, that goon's so low. But he's got 6, so this is easy to target down tanks with.
Yeah.
Does he not have goon range?
No, he has to have goon range, right?
I don't know, man. It seems like with this micro, maybe not.
Probes have come up here to try to help out. Oh, this game is so weird, guys.
This is a wild one. I'm liking it, though.
Okay, the Dragoons are getting lower every time at the last second. That is he. Okay, he's starting to plant these mines. Again, when a mine gets up, if there's no robo out, it's like, it's just part of the game now.
Oh, that mine is going to lay. Oh, my God. So, how much health? Come on, click him. Okay, so he kills the tank. Now,
this game is so weird, man.
Yeah, it's super duper weird. But now he's got 3 gates and he's killed all the tanks. I think Horang2's got it. Like, there's still a chance he dies to vultures.
I was going to say vultures could like run inside the main or something. He could plant mines there.
Yeah, once you kill all the tanks, though, get back in your main. It's not like he's going to go, okay, phase 3, and a minute and a half later he comes out with 3 more tanks.
Yeah.
No, that's not real. That doesn't exist.
I like that. Now, Terran's making a command center here, but this is like just the circumstances he's in. He's like, well, I guess this game's been kind of rocky. I have to sort of expand, but this is so late.
Yeah. He's killed some probes. He knows there's not a lot of tech for Horang2. He's like, well, let's see. Vulture speed will eventually finish. Maybe I can kill a bunch of probes. You know, eventually you got to look for some luck in a game like this. You got to look for Horang2 to drop the ball.
A lot of this game for both sides is going to come down to the players' instincts because nothing is textbook from here on out. I mean, this is just really kind of bumpy and weird. And this is so sexy. Look at that. He's going to hide a command center.
He is.
In an unorthodox, weird game like this, what are you going to do? Well, you got to throw a command center up somewhere. This guy doesn't have a robo with observers out yet. He just now is going to finish his observatory. We just saw it over there. He's not going to be scouting. Those Dragoons can't leave the base and go look around the map because the vultures would run inside the main and kill all the workers.
All good points, Staceless. And look at the just the mini map right now. Do you see this spread of mines? He's got ones on Reaver paths. He's got ones on walking paths. Like right now, Last has so much more intel than Horang2 has.
Yeah.
Damn, this game is actually pretty cool.
Well,
what a weird one.
I actually love casting games like this because you don't get another game like this again, right? I mean, it's cool to see some of the perfect plays and, you know, watch the players just so graciously navigate their way, gracefully, I should say, navigate their way through.
Well, some of them are gracious.
Yes. to just have them handle that so perfectly, and you're like, wow, these guys are actually just hitting all the marks. But sometimes the best StarCraft games are the down and dirty slugfests, like the ones we have here, where it's like a lot of the timing attacks are kind of ill-timed, and we're seeing a hidden command center. I mean, if you scout the hidden command center, you just go kill it, and you're probably going to win the game that way. But I like the fact that Last is having to take a risk because Horang2 is starting to get the edge here.
And it's a good risk to take, especially with that late observer and the fact that he's playing blind. He has to make turrets, so the turrets keep the observer out of the main base, or that's part of what he's hoping that they do. And then you can't really count factories, armories, starports, and things, so you're less inclined to look for a third command because you're not sure what's in the main. If he could get in the main right now, he'd probably look and say, you should have a little bit more than that, right? Like, I mean, I know the game's been weird, but something might be missing. And that's where it is.
Yes. So there's a third command center being taken. So this is going to be a weird moment where the Terran might end up ahead in expansions.
Yeah.
And you gotta appreciate, guys, if you misunderstand how many expansions are in the game, you will actually misplay the game.
Yes.
You're looking at that and saying, oh, we're either even or I'm ahead, when in fact the Terran's ahead. You completely miscalculate where you're at, and it is a great way to throw off an excellent player. It seems like hidden expansions are more trendy in StarCraft 1 than StarCraft 2, I think, because you're less likely to spot a hidden expo because you have to juggle so much APM in the game that it's like it's very realistic that a player might neglect that.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting. We'll have to dive into that sometime, but it's certainly true that you see more hidden expands in StarCraft 1. Well, it looks like Arbiter Tech is the choice for Horang2 here. Now, this isn't a real move out. He's taking a more forward position so that he can take his quote-unquote third base.
Yeah, he's going to claim that mineral base down there, but the real story is actually what's happening in the upper right. And keep in mind on Gladiator, there's like a ton of minerals in the main. There's a ton of patches. So it's like a huge amount that he's getting. So I think no Protoss player would think to try to dive on top of this quote-unquote third base that Last is taking, because this is such in the Terran's favor to have a fight like this. So Horang2 will probably accept that and then take a fourth of his own, unbeknownst to him. Oh, here we go.
Okay, so this has actually been mining for a good amount of time and has made a good amount of SCVs. Oh my god, he's actually sending some units over maybe to try to save this.
Okay, I'm actually a little bit confused by this.
I
thought
normally
that the play
you'll
was
see it
you lift, yeah, and then you go to the top center.
Or at least just run your SCVs to your third or something. Like,
yeah.
Get as much of your value out of this location as possible. Instead, Horang2's going to run into some of these mines here on his way over to clear. Okay, now he'll lift. I guess against one goon you don't have to. Like, you can run the same against this. You lose a few more SCVs, but it doesn't matter. The extra mining, I guess, was worth.
Now the Vultures are going to try to come over and hit inside this location here. As you see Dragoons out there, you say, well, maybe he's neglecting his third. No quotes, no air quotes there.
Yeah.
But look, Last is in a pretty nice position. He mined a decent amount of minerals there. We are seeing Horang2 outgrow him supply-wise, but that's pretty normal at a PvT.
Yeah.
The Protoss is kind of supposed to be ahead.
Yeah, and, especially after the openings as well, Horang2 did save his Nexus against that non-stop aggression, so that was really good. Forces his command center back for now. Doesn't look like it's going to die.
Now, Last is just going to move out, and
wow.
I'm not actually totally clear on where the most of the army for Horang2 is.
He's got a big group of goons in the top right.
Sometimes, because there's not been a ton of observers here, sometimes you can just pop out and suddenly the Protoss is completely caught off guard and dies anyways.
It can occur, but Horang2 should have enough here. He's up by 40 supply right now.
Okay, he's coming forward.
And he doesn't have Zealot speed, so that is a big deal as well.
Okay, the shuttles, though, if he can target this down.
That's an Arbiter.
There's an Arbiter.
That helps.
Okay.
The probes are coming to fight.
I feel like Last had a bumpy start here, and from there, since he normally plays cleaner games, he kind of hasn't been able to navigate this one as well. I am a little bit shocked Last pushed there. I mean, it doesn't seem like there was any, you don't want to push right before their Arbiter gets out. That's not a thing. So,
yeah, and also, just the unit set he had was not well balanced yet because he was on 2 factories for a long time. A general rule for aspiring Terran players out there, if you want to attack Protoss, and I know this is a weird game, so it's really hard to make a rule work.